Hello and welcome to episode 8. This time going to go through the Sarissa Precision Old Europe Post Windmill kit H007. As you can see from the kit, I've already started to make some edits and modifications. The base kit here is this colour, and I'll do some close-up photos for you as well. Sails actually turn, but what I've done to the sails is I've added some coffee stirrers just to give a little bit of embellishment and detailing. The sails come off, and this is the main body. So the roof comes off. So far with the roof, what I've done is I've just covered it with some bandage, lint bandage and PVA. The top comes off, and what I've done, as you can see, I've coated it and covered it in coffee stirrers. Now the slot here isn't part of the kit. I've cut that in so that you've got a viewport or vision port for the figures to fight out of. The bottom layer comes off the base stand, and what I've done, as you can see here on this, you can see a cut mark that goes round. And if I just pop that out, that gives you another vision port. So when it's on the base, you've got another vision port. I've already added some extra detail around the steps as well. So that's the kit for now. What I'll do is I'll come back when I've done a little bit more, and we'll talk about working with the coffee stirrers, maybe working with the paper fittings as well on the inside, papering. We'll talk about basing as well. So as you can see, the base here is very plain. So we'll talk about basing as well and how I base it. And I'll go through all these processes with you as well. Okay, back shortly. So back quickly, I just wanted to show you the kit assembled again and showed you that it will actually pivot on the base. And you've also got the doors that are pre-cut, but you just need to cut them a little bit more to get them fully open. And what I've done here is I've had the lower doors that go in and the upper door that comes out. This is the gantry crane for lifting the bags of flour in and out. And you can even see here on the side, one of the coffee stirrers was a little bit warped, but I think that'll add a little bit of detail to it as opposed to it being completely perfect. Right, catch you shortly. So back on the board, what have I been up to? I've carried on cladding the rest of the windmill, so the lower section of the windmill. I've clad the legs, all in coffee stirrers. I've clad the handrails as well. I've sanded and gritted the base, and I've actually added some willow sticks that you get from sort of like the pound shop or the dollar store. So this is now ready to paint, and as you can see as well from the front here, I've got the 2 vision ports in here so that we can use it to shoot out of during the gameplay and everything like that. So the next thing is just to paint it. So I'm going to paint the base with a cheap brown. I'm going to paint the main windmill black, and once I've done, I'll come back and show you what the stages of that. So we'll then build up with the paint, the dry brush, the weathering, the grassing, and then it'll be finally finished, ready for play. Okay, catch you soon. So as part of this build, I thought what I'd do is very quickly show you the painting of the coffee stirrers and washing them. So I've just made up a little piece of board here with some coffee stirrers on, as you can see. What I've done also is I've just put some pen on the coffee stirrer, so you'll see it coming through on some of the washes. Now it's just to show you that if you do happen to have some stirrers or a piece of wood that you've written on, you have to be careful because it can come through on your images. Or if you want to write something on the boards before you paint them, then you can do. So just for this, a little bit of black paint, plain black paint. Give it a good coat. So what we have to do now is just let that paint dry. So whilst that paint's drying, I'm just going to get the Agrax Earthshade out for the staining of the floorboards, as it were. So, paint on your brush and you just stain the boards. And if there's a little bit of glue on the board, or you stain it from one end or from the middle, you'll get different effects. The different grain will come out of the pieces of coffee stirrer as well. You can do a single coat, or you can do multiple coats to get it darker. If you want it really dark, you can use different coloured paint, such as the Newlyn oil. So what you'll get is you'll end up like that. And as I said, with the writing, it actually comes through the staining. So we're going to let that dry, and then what we'll do is we'll come back to doing the dry brush on it, and then I'll show you the finished windmill model. Okay, bye for now. Hi, back on the board. So the coffee stirrers are nice and dry now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a quick bit of dry brushing and show you how to do it. What I'll do on the black and the washed board is I'll do half where I'll go up and down, so vertical, and then I'll do half where I go along in line with the coffee stirrers, so you'll see the effect. The great thing with the dry brushing is you don't need to wash your brush out and dry it every time you use the colour, because it helps to blend all the colours. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a 2-colour dry brush now. So we've got Still Legion Drab, a brown, and then we've got Spaceship Exterior. So just going to get a little bit of paint on my brush. So all we do then is, as it says, get the most of the paint off the brush. So the first side I'm just going to go up and down. So let's just bring that up into the light a little bit, get some light on that. And you can see already you're getting a good effect on the black. You can't quite see it on the wash there, but I'll zoom in a moment. So a little bit more paint on my brush. Again, dry it off on a piece of cardboard, and then this time I'm going to go in line. So let's bring that up and see if you can see what I've done. So 2 different effects, one up and down here like that, and one side to side. So you can see slightly different effects. So put the lid back on that before I spill the paint. A little bit of Spaceship Exterior. Put a little bit of paint on the cardboard. And then dry brush it again. And then this time, still again, up and down. And then a little bit more. And then side to side. So you can see the difference already. There was probably a little bit too much paint on this, but it doesn't matter. And here on the boards, you can't really see, because the boards have been washed brown, you can't really see it. So what I'll do is I'll get a little bit more Spaceship Exterior. Dab it. And then if I go up and down on this panel, and then same again, a little bit more paint side to side, you'll see the effect now, hopefully. So, and I can also add more to the black areas. The dry brushing comes out really well on the black. Darker base coat always helps you to do the dry brushing. So what I'll do now, that's it for the dry brushing. So that's how I did the windmill. I'll just take this out of the way. Put my brush in the water. And what I can do now is I'll bring the windmill into view. I'll have to lift up and move the camera angle slightly. So this is the windmill completed. So I'll just turn it around on the base so you can see. The building does actually spin on its legs, but I just thought I'd put it on my turntable to make it easier for you to see. And there we have it, the completed windmill. Now it's got, as I said before, the cutouts so we can put in equipment into the windmill itself. What I'll do is I'll just grab a figure as well so you can see the 28mm figure next to it. So there you go, there's the 28mm figure next to it. And what I'll do is if I just come out again, there you go, you can see the full thing with the 28mm figure. So it's quite tall. And if I just take the roof off, so bear with me a moment while I pop the roof off. I'm going to try and do that without knocking all the all the sails off and everything. But what I'll do is I'll turn that around and then I'll come back up and show you again. So now you can see actually into the windmill itself. So that's the coffee stirrers with a good dry brush, and there's the same flooring in the base of it as well. So what I'll do is I'll just turn the windmill and you can see in the doorway. Oh, not the solderer. That was clever, wasn't it? So you can see in the doorway as well the wooden flooring. Okay, that's the windmill complete. So if you need any help, any questions or anything like that, just give me a shout. Bye for now.